I want to repeat myself. I have tremendous respect for this institution as a Senate as an institution. I've never disparaged Senate as an institution, and I can never do that. I've never done that. Senator Eddy, I know you as a senator from Migori, you know, sometimes your electorate can react to situation differently. I can assure you I have not mobilized people, and I'm a good mobilizer, Chairman.
You mobilize, good life.
You are a liar. You are a liar by excellence, Senator Fatuma.
You see, those are the issues. Those are the issues.
No, Senator Fatuma is a liar by excellence.
Just a moment.
And I'm sorry for saying that, Senator Halwale. Governor Kuti.
Yes, just a moment, Governor. You know, you are here before the Senate. A committee of the Senate is the Senate. The language, you don't use that language in the Senate. You understand?
I know it is not parliamentary.
You might have differences with Senator Dulo.
I know it is not parliamentary, Chair.
You might have politics of Isiolo with Senator Dulo. But those politics should not come into this committee. That's why we want to play above board. Okay? If there are issues, answer to the issues that she has raised, and then the committee will make a decision whether the answer is satisfactory or not. It is not for Senator Dulo to make that decision. It is the committee that makes that decision.
Chair.
Yes.
Chair. You know, the house that we are sitting here is the house of the people. We might throw jabs here and there to show how powerful we are, how big we are, but the bottom line is that our employer is the people of Kenya, all of us. And sometimes the arrogance of politicians make them forget that the people who employ them, their bosses, are actually the people. This disrespect should not continue. It's okay. I have told you that the governor of Isiolo is right twice a day. It's not right once, it's right all the time. Let's accept that. Let's accept his apologies as has been stated. Okay? Let us make our determination on the sermon. Let us go back and retreat as a Senate and then look at the responses, make a decision whether we want to look at those responses in this committee or whether we want to look at them in the whole house. And that we will communicate to the governor. Let the governor be right. He's a rightful man. He's a righteous person. He's correct. He says that he doesn't disparage the Senate, yet in the same answer, the governor has said that the senators and the Senate is being used by one, Senator Fatuma Dulo, to frustrate him. That I wanted to read the standing orders of this house, but I didn't see that the governor would understand it. That alone is a serious crime under our standing orders. It is imputing improper motive on the Senate and on other senators and the entire house in the front of their employers, who is the public. So let the governor of Isiolo just be right, as he's right. We don't need his apology anymore. Let us go and have the legal counsel read for us. What do we do when there is a sermon that is not honored? That's why I wanted us to go. And then let us make a determination. We are the three of us here. We can make that determination. Whether we fine, whether we write a recommendation for any other further legal action, whether we forgive. And then let's proceed to, let's retire to go and look at the responses. And then we'll advise him where we look at those responses, whether in the House or in this committee.
And when you are compelled to appear before the committee is when you refuse to appear before the committee. And that is the situation in this case. And I think before we go to the substantive issue, Chair, we must deal with the issue of summons. Why did the governor refuse to appear? That's number one. Number two, why did he refuse to submit the response? 6 months down the line. That is the first thing. Number two, they have just submitted the documents. Nobody can go through those documents at this time. They have appeared before so many other committees. They know the standard practice. And for me, that it is intentional that they didn't want to submit the documents in time for us to look at it. So mine is first to deal with the summons. Number two, we cannot interrogate those documents now. We must be able to give him another time to appear for us to interrogate the document. I thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Senator Dulo. Governor, I think you have heard the members loud and clear. Number one is that there was a failure on your part to respond to the statements in time. And that is why you were summoned to appear before this committee on the 8th of August this year. Again, on the 8th of August, you failed to appear despite the summons that were issued against you. So maybe let's have those explanations first of the two issues, why the responses were not filed within the required time, and number two, your failure to honor the summons on the 8th of August 2024, before we move to the next issues.
Thank you, Chair, and members, honorable members of this committee. Chair, I didn't ignore or refuse to attend to this committee. You remember when I was given someone on the 8th August, and what transpired before that? There was a demonstration of Gen Z by then, Mr. Chair, and Gen Z even breached the security of Parliament, and you know what transpired. On 8th, they declared an day, and you know my staffs feared for their life, and they didn't want to come to the Senate, and we wrote to the Senate on the same. On issue of response, Chair, we responded on our invite, and we wrote our written response when we were invited early March. So the response with the committee.
Do you have a copy of that response?
Yeah.
Because my secretariat is saying they never received that response. They never received them. That's why we summoned you.
No, Chair, they did, and
yes. Can we have a stamped copy?
We will give you the stamp copy.
Yes.
Let my staff deal with it.
Yes.
Chair, on this summon, after we have summoned by the Senate on 14th, now we are here because of responding to the summonses with.
No. It doesn't go like that, Governor. It doesn't go like that. By saying that now we are here, no, it doesn't. It doesn't go like that. Number one, the explanation that you have offered is not satisfactory. You know, on the same 8th, the day that you are summoned, the Gen Zs were not here. The Gen Zs were not here, and there was no demonstration. There was nothing of that sort. The information that you sent us was that you had an investment conference in Isiolo. Now you are changing your stories. You know, this is a house of record, Governor. It's not just a committee that doesn't know what it is doing. Your letter says that you'll be having show him the letter that he sent. You'll be having an investment conference in Isiolo. Now you are saying it was a Gen Zs that made you fail to appear.
No, Chair, it is true. We had an investment conference between Isiolo County, Samburu County, and Marsabit County on that day. But my staffs were not able to attend to this meeting because they feared for their life that day, Chair. And Chair, when you speak about the statement requested by Senator Fatuma, some of these things have been canvassed in various committees. For example, pending bills. When she requests a statement on pending bill since 2013 to 2022, Chair, and she is a member of CPAC, which canvassed the audit report on pending bill and reviewed by the House.
Just one moment, Governor.
Point of order.
Yes, what is your point of order, Senator Dulo?
Chair, CPAC is a different entity. Finance Committee is a different entity. And as far as I know, pending bills is the mandate of the Finance Committee. It has got nothing to do with PAC. PAC deals with Public Accounts Committee queries. So this is totally different. Let him not bring an argument along that line. Thank you.
Chair, I'm not bringing an argument along that.
No,
what I'm saying,
the
Governor, issue raised on pending bill was canvassed.
Governor, just a moment. I'm the chair of this committee. You know, every committee has its own mandate. They can ask a question on pending bills in relation to the Public Accounts Committee mandate. It can also be asked in the Senate Finance Committee in regard to the mandate of the Finance Committee. So any issue that is brought before the Senate, the Speaker directs the concerned committee to deal with the issue. So here we have an issue regarding pending bill directed to us by the Speaker in terms of the mandate of the Finance Committee. So you'll be able to answer in terms of the mandate of the Finance Committee, not saying that, no, that issue was discussed in PAC and therefore we cannot deal with it here. That issue was discussed in PIC, we cannot deal with it here. You see, every committee has its own mandate and they are within our mandate to ask the issues of pending bills. So proceed.
Chair, the implication of what I'm saying here, Chair.
Just a moment, Governor. Let's hear what Senator Eddie has to say.
Chair, we are not going to have a meeting that is confused. I want us to go procedurally. We are losing procedure. We are now talking about our mandate and what was discussed. I think that let's handle issues one by one. There is the issue of the summon, and the Governor has clearly stated that the reason why he did not come here on 8th is because he staffers, and it's on record. And sometimes, Chair, I feel like we probably should take some habits of what we do in CPIC, that sometimes when we get into this back and forth, maybe the Governor should be put on oath. Because the Governor is on record saying and telling this committee that the reason why he did not appear on the 8th of August is because there was Gen Zs who will not allow his staffers to be here. I have a problem with this in two fronts. Number one, we have a letter that was written to this committee where the Governor indicated some different reason other than the Gen Z's reason. But then number two, the Governor is saying that the staffers of Isiolo could not make it when Article 179 of the Constitution is the executive, the chief executive. Nobody invited the staffers of Isiolo to come here. Where is the staffers coming? The staffers of Isiolo coming to answer to Parliament. It is him, the Governor, who was summoned, and it is him who was supposed to answer. He cannot then say that because the staffers of Isiolo were not able to make it here, there's a problem. So I think that, Chair, we must expand on that issue and allow you to rule on that issue first before we go.
Lucy,
Samuels.
if you fail to appear, look at the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act.
Chair, Section 19 provides that where a witness summoned does not appear or appears but fails to satisfy the relevant House of Parliament or committee, the relevant House or committee may impose upon the witness such fine not exceeding 500,000 shillings, taking into account the condition of life of the witness.
And the circumstances of the case. Yes, Khalwani.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, so that we can go to the House Business Committee. I'm satisfied that the Governor has not convinced the Senate through this committee, and therefore he should face the consequences. And Mr. Chairman, before I make a pronouncement on the figure, I'm so proud of young people like you who has pulled himself up from an MCA to a governor. You have the potential to pull yourself further. Please, the reason why the Constitution gave you this team, these are professionals, serious professionals. Make use of them. Don't be their bosses, be their leader, so that regularly, weekly, bi-weekly, whatever time, Governor, they be advising me on matters health, matters water, matters infrastructure, and you'll do very well. In medicine, we call it emotional intelligence. Grow it so that you work with all these people so that the nonsense in Isiolo can stop. Mr. Chairman, I propose he pays a fine of 500,000.
500,000, yes. Eddie?
Chair, I want to clarify the basis for which I second that 500,000. The governor of Isiolo did not show up when summoned and gave contradicting statements. In his official letter to the Senate, he said that he could not be able to make it because he had an investor conference in Isiolo. Appearing before us today, the governor now says that on 8th of August, there was a Gen Z protest that could not allow him and his staffers make it to Nairobi. I find that disingenuous, and therefore I do recommend, as I second, the 500,000 charge on missing that sum. Chair, I submit.
Thank you, Eddie. Governor, you know, under Section 27 of subsection 3B of the Powers and Privileges Act, a person who commits an offense where he uses abusive language directed at a member or a committee or a house of parliament. We are not going to deal with that issue now because we'll just report to the full house when you appeared here. But you know, as institutions of government, both Senate and your office as a governor are offices in the service of the people of Kenya. And the Leadership and Integrity Act requires that you should serve them with dignity and honor. This idea of disparaging members of the Senate itself is not good for your office. So for now, I think the fine of 500,000 will do for your failure to attend on the 8th of August 2024. The issues that we have brought, the responses that have been brought, it is the view of this committee that they'll be referred to the full plenary of the Senate, and we shall set up a date when you'll be able to appear before the full plenary and be able to respond to those issues, and maybe any other issues that will have arisen as a result of the responses that you have done. I think for now we are done with this meeting.